Welcome back. The holiday season is here, and that means plenty of decorating, entertaining, and just a nonstop list of things to do. But it also means that you should slow down and enjoy some family traditions. So what are your traditions? Let's think about it. Let's talk about it. Here today to share more of these traditions is a mom of 8 and Indianapolis Moms contributor, Amanda Hauser. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I am so excited because obviously my baby's 19 months. So we are starting some of our new traditions as this family of 3. So this is really, really cool. Amanda has been coaching me. She's saying even if you don't think that you're that mom or dad, don't be so quick to put off creating traditions and creating moments, because I don't feel like I'm that arts and crafts mom.
Nor do you need to be.
Okay,
So,
don't try to change who you are, she says.
give yourself grace. Give
Yes.
yourself grace. Traditions are really just a hug for our soul. So think of them as what we do that are things that are so psychologically comfortable. They are predictable.
Okay.
They are stable. And what does all of that make us feel? Just warm and fuzzy,
Yeah,
right?
feels like home.
It does. It feels, that's exactly what home should feel like. So that's what your traditions should feel like. You don't need to be on Pinterest and killing yourself, staying up all night, doing artsy and craftsy things.
Because that's what I feel. I feel like Pinterest, or the person that's like, oh, we bake cookies every year, which, I mean, cookies isn't that complicated, but it depends on who you are.
Right.
Are they from scratch? They might be that complicated. And then you feel pressure.
You know, comparison is the killer of all joy.
Okay, no comparison.
No comparison. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Think about what you're doing as comforting your family, providing that stability,
Okay.
that predictability that just feels really good. No pressure.
Comfort and connection is what we're going for.
Absolutely.
That's what she's encouraging. So simple traditions to help us get there. She's also saying the traditions are important to help kids understand similarities and differences. What do you mean when you make that statement?
So if you really think about what traditions are, they are a tool that we use to express our values, what we love, what we appreciate, what we think are important.
Yeah.
Think about that in terms of family values, religious values, cultural values. We have traditions that go
Yes.
with all of those things. So when we are teaching our children traditions, we're teaching them what's important to us and what we value as humans. And then if you go even deeper, think about when we seek to understand other people's traditions, we are just enriching our lives culturally and really gaining understanding of what's important to other people. And as we grow our young humans into adults, what could be more valuable than a deep understanding of the people that we're sharing our life with?
I love how you explain that, and reframing it with that mindset is not like, oh, another thing to do. Now we need to go bake holiday bread or cookies or something like that.
Right.
That's not maybe the tradition for Felicia, but maybe there's another one that is out there that, and when I look back on my childhood, we did have traditions and we did take trips and we did things that really express what you just said, that family is the most important thing, that our religion is important in our household. And that is something that I want to pass down to my child.
Right, and when you think about the baking cookies example, I love to eat them. I don't love to spend the time baking them because I love to spend my time in another way, and that also expresses my value. But also when you think about tradition, remember to keep it people-based, not things-based. So when you go back to that baking cookies, you could be showing a tradition of, I want to connect with you. I want to spend time with you, and we can do that by baking cookies together.
Yes.
The cookies are not the tradition.
Oh,
Spending
okay.
time together
Sorry,
is the tradition.
I was focused on the cookies.
I was too.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not framing it properly.
Well, and our children will remember the connections that we are making and the people that we spend time with far longer than anything that's put under a tree, anything that's wrapped and given to
so
them.
true.
So think about what you can do to enrich those experiences and those people moments during this time of
'Cause
year.
How many gifts, not that it doesn't matter, but how many gifts do you have from your childhood for Christmas? You know, now as an adult.
Right.
I mean,
They end up in garage sales.
maybe you have one or two and then the rest are end up at garage sales, maybe. But to go beyond that, you remember the things you did, you remember your family members, you remember just all those other things. So that is wonderful. Traditions are about legacy.
They're about legacy. So once again, if they're what we value, it's what we also pass on.
Yeah.
You think about the things that you do right now as you're growing your family. There are probably some things in your head that you think about. My mom or my dad did this, or my grandma or my grandpa did this, and I loved it. And you want to bring a piece of that into your family tradition and your life. So when you are building that family legacy, you think about, we are really passing down our values and important rituals that we have in our family. And here's kind of the irony of this whole thing. A lot of us in this era, in this season of life, boy, we are in the weeds, aren't we?
I mean, the thick of it.
We are in the thick of it.
It's thick.
Yes, we're tired. Yeah. We're exhausted. We are burned out. We are in the middle of our careers and we're growing our own selves still, right? Mm-hmm. And yet, our children at this age are the most vulnerable and impressionable. Mm-hmm. So we really have to double down. And this is a hard thing to do. We have to dig deep and double down on our effort and our intentionality, because these are the rituals, the routines, the traditions, the connections that our children are going to remember during this phase of life.
It's a very impressionable age. And I love what you're saying about legacy. My husband and I, we don't have any living parents anymore. So for me to be able to connect with my own child in that way, a new child, and to embrace that legacy, it means so much more now.
You get to share your family history that way, right?
Yes.
We can really bring the love and connection from one generation to another through tradition.
There we go. So the key here, she says, is to have fun and to remember that these moments don't have to be Pinterest perfect, but in case you do have that bug, or if you want to stretch, because I always realize that when I do something that's, you know, I'm not the Pinterest mom, but when I do something where I might dabble in it or brush up against a Pinterest mom, I always appreciate it. And so you actually have something here that does kind of check that box, but tell me what all this is.
Okay, so about 6 or 8 years ago, my first child graduated from high school. And when I did that, I'm like, I have all this stuff. I have his jerseys, his certificates, his medals, his t-shirts, all of these things.
You kept it all.
I kept it all. I was such a good mom. But then I'm like, and now what? Because what am I going to do with all this? So this idea of a senior tree came to me because I do love Christmas. It is my most favorite and celebrated time of year.
Wonderful.
So I thought, I'm going to make all this stuff into a Christmas tree. And so I immediately started deconstructing his trophies, like taking the tops off of them,
look at this,
making them into little ornaments, gluing ornaments on the bottom of it. I thought, oh gosh, what are we going to do with all these medals? I'm going to cut the ribbon off. We're going to make garlands out of it.
Then here's the garland.
Yep. This garland actually came.
And she has, look at this, she has a sports family. So she has a ton of medals and certificates and jerseys and things that just mean a lot.
Absolutely. So this garland actually is from my gymnast. So this garland represents 20 years worth of medals. We cut all of
this is from one kid?
This is one child. This is my Brenna. Yep. And so this is from the gymnast. Thank you. And then we take all the rest of it and we create things that go on a Christmas tree. So you'll see here we have our helmet topper.
So these trees that you see flanking us right now are her actual trees that she's brought, and it has actual ornaments that she created out of what her family. So it's not like a prop or anything that we just brought in. No, these are her actual trees that you have. And what do you do with these trees?
So they're decor in our home during the holidays. The goal was originally that when they left for college and had that first apartment, that this would be a way for them to take a little piece of home with them and also remember all of the hard work and accomplishments that got them to this point. It is a visual reminder of, look what you did.
Yeah.
You're so great.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, those college apartments turned out to be quite small.
Yes.
So these trees get to stay home with mom and dad.
Yeah. And your kids are still, the older ones are young adults. So maybe when they get the first house or a little farther along, people aren't settling as fast as they used to. So maybe when they get a little farther along.
Maybe. So it really is a visual representation of their life's work up until this moment.
Yeah.
And then the last part, I took all of those jerseys. That is my mommy heart connection. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this jersey? So I take their jerseys and their t-shirts and their class shirts. and we turn them into tree skirts.
Oh, I
So
thought
these-
this was a blanket.
Yep,
Okay,
no,
this
these
is a
are
tree
actual
skirt.
tree
Here,
skirts.
I'll help hold it so they can get a shot of it.
But you
Let's
can
just hold it for a second.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
So we send those into, I have a very good friend who
A
makes
tree
these-
skirt.
A tree skirt.
Oh, you didn't sew these.
Oh, girl, no. I
Oh,
am
and
the
here's the-
visionary. I am
Yes.
the visionary of this project. I have somebody who executes for
I
me.
love it.
Yes. So a lot of this other stuff I made. Yes, I made the ornaments and the
But
garland.
it's 2 other tree skirts here.
Yes, yes.
Because I
There's-
know from afar, you're like, what's all that stuff? It's 2 other
Right.
tree skirts here.
We-
That's
yes,
beautiful.
Yes, we have 4 senior trees at our house right now.
Yeah.
We have a little break before we get our 5th senior tree. So
Yeah.
we have a veritable forest.
That is wonderful. Well, I actually have 2 trees now, and I want to be that house that just goes all out for Christmas. You know, how many times of year, I mean, you could do it as many times as you want, but how many times of year do you really have a chance to just put all the decor, go crazy, you know, make it look nice, but to really just go all out? And for us, it's Christmas.
Oh, absolutely.
For us, it's
And
Christmas.
I was really sharing earlier with somebody today. You think about in the world, there's a lot of stuff that's hard and complicated, but the holiday season doesn't have to be one
It
of
does
them.
not.
It
Yeah.
is. It can be something that you really just embrace the pure joy,
Yes.
the pure joy of tradition.
I love it. Look at all those ribbons and all those medals and all those things that are from your little one. And like I said, from someone who we don't have living parents, this stuff means so much more now. Things like this, things that my mom saved, it means so much more now. And I just think it's a wonderful gift that you're giving your family.
Thank
So thank
you.
you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have more about Amanda and some of her ideas and her articles and what she's written. It's on Indianapolis Moms, and we put a link for that at WTHR.com/Parent Squad. You could find some more info. And still ahead, it's time to wrap it up. The City Moms are here to help make sure every gift under your tree just dazzles with delight.